Good Monday makers. Welcome back to another episode of Maker Pipe Monday. My name is Dave. Today we are checking out outdoor canopies made out of EMT conduit and maker pipe fittings. Let's take a look. I've got a few to show you. The first one is by Julia, and take a look at this beautiful upstairs apartment she was renting, and she wanted a canopy to provide some shade for this upstairs deck. And this is what she came up with. She took a IKEA dining canopy that I guess you can buy at IKEA, and then stretched it all the way from the house. You can see there's a few mounting points right here on the house. And she wanted something that she could remove easily when she left the property. So, not too many mounting points. And the way she did that on the down hillside was she made this frame out of EMT conduit and maker pipe, all wrapped in black wrap. Looks good, and she only mounted it in 2 points. So she's got a two-hole strap both here and here to mount it to the deck. It rests on the floor of the deck, and she's able to stretch the canopy over there, attach it with some ball bungees to the frame, and it looks great. And it really does look fantastic. It's very picturesque on this upstairs deck, and we really appreciate Julia sharing that with us. Great job. I'm glad it worked out for you. Here's one by Frank. And Frank has this outdoor preparation for his grill where he does all his cooking. And he needed a way to get some relief from the sun. So he's got this stainless steel and wood prep station. And he ran two pieces of EMT conduit up to the shade frame. And he just did a rectangular frame with not too many connectors. It looks like he's got T connectors on the end here, and then some four ways right there to create the frame. But then he incorporated shade cloth, and all he did was he used these greenhouse clips, which are a common item that normally are being used for attaching clear film to a greenhouse, but he used it to attach the shade cloth. And you can see those all the way around on the frame, and it just pinches right over the shade cloth, attaches to the EMT conduit, and then you've got a canopy shade. Really easy way to tackle this. He even has some lights there for the nighttime. Frank did a great job on that one, and we'd love seeing it. Here is a build by Randy, and Randy has a great community member. He's done a lot of fantastic builds, but check out this deck canopy that he made in the Pacific Northwest. He's got a beautiful home and a beautiful patio that he loves making pizza and all kinds of things out there, entertaining guests. And what he did, he wanted something that was removable and adjustable. And the way that he accomplished that was he mounted this in a couple places to the house that he could make it removable. You can see hardware right there. And then on the other side, on the downhill side, he just did these three posts out of 3/4 inch EMT in our connectors that tees up at the bottom. Those connect. This is a very large frame, got to be 30, 40 feet long. And he framed out the whole thing and then stretched tarp with bungees all the way around. And it came out great. Here's some more pictures of it to take a look. You can see those bungees that he used on the back end. And he's since mounted all kinds of things to the posts, speakers and that kind of thing. There's where he attached it to the house. And he has an update on that. Definitely go to the community and take a look at his posts. He's a wealth of information, and there it is without the shades on there. But Randy, great job as usual. I love showing that one off. Here's one by Ryder, and Ryder has a beautiful rooftop deck and rooftop place here, sanctuary, that he needed some shade for. He's got this wonderful raised beds all the way around. He's growing hops. They're climbing up the poles. It looks great. He's got his laptop and coffee sitting out there. But what he did, he made this all out of 3/4 inch EMT conduit. He's got PVC wrap that makes it blue and green. I love the color scheme, pretty modern color scheme. And then he suspended these removable shade cloths in between the sections. And he's able to just push them back and pull them forward. Really neat sort of thing there. I love the design. And then he's also did it really smart because he created this basically large rectangular box with two levels, which makes the whole thing really rigid. Adds a few connectors, but makes it extremely rigid. Beautiful place to hang out. You can see another view of it. And the way that he did accomplish the removable and pushback shade cloth canopies is he took these large carabiners, attached them to the conduit, ran a metal wire across the whole thing, and then slid the metal wire through grommets in the shade cloth. And he can just push that back. It accordions into one spot if he wants the full sun, or if he wants to get that shade, he just pulls it across. It's a really slick idea. Ryder did a wonderful job. We actually did our interview with Ryder, and he explained a lot of those. So if you want more information, check that out on the channel. Love seeing that from Ryder. Great build. This next build is by Rick, and he made a canopy system for his backyard sitting area. Looks great. What he did, he's got a few different canopies here. One over here in the corner where he attached it to the fence and then bent it 90 degrees, supported by a 180. And then the larger one is overhead where he attached it to the wall and then suspended it and kind of linked it over with the other canopy that he has. Looks great. Here is another section. He had the sun cutting in when it was low in the sky. So he created this frame to block some of the sun. Looks great. And Rick really turned us on to a neat detail. He has these tarp clips that he used where he's able to grab onto the fabric, whatever that fabric may be, and it then gives them a mounting point to attach to the conduit. So if you don't have grommets in your fabric, or like him, if he wants to just add some mounting points, that's a great way to do it. They're called tarp clips, and you can find them pretty much at your local big box store. So Rick, great build. Love seeing it. And we learned something new from Rick's creativity. Great to see. Here's one by Rob, and Rob has he posted this on the community and mentioned how he was inspired by other communities members' build, which I love seeing that. He said he stole the design, and it looks great. Rob, you did a great job. I love the red sailcloth there. It looks cool with the blue house. But what he did, he created a frame over the whole thing to stretch the sailcloth across, and then mounted it on the uphill side to the house. You can see he used two hole straps as his hinge with that block right on the house. And then on the downhill side, he made this frame. And there's a better picture of that. Let me bring that over. And we even got a video for Rob. There's a good zoomed out picture. But he's got this frame here where he is able to adjust the angle of the shade. If he wants to put it down when he's getting some weather, or adjust the angle, he's got this frame and he can move it to different positions. And he sent us a video of that, which I'd like to show. And here's the hinge that he used to create that movement. And that's also a nice picture too, because the way he attached his shade cloth was he ran this rope through the grommets and kind of tensioned it against the conduit that way, which looks pretty effective. I've seen that in a few different builds. But here's the video by Rob. I appreciate you sending in a video. Here's where he's going. It shows the adjustability of the frame. So he's able to put that down to the ground level. It collapses the whole canopy down there. And then he doesn't have to worry about the wind. So Rob, appreciate that video. Love seeing that. Great build, and really great job. And I'm really glad that the community kind of inspired you. That is a dream come true for sure. Here's one by Danny. He is not doing a deck. He's actually covering some of his wife's roses. So he's in the Southwest, a lot of sun, needs some relief for the rose bed raised garden there. And this is what he came up with. Really simple structure. He's got 6 uprights. It's up against the brick wall. He used 90-degree connectors here and here at the corners. So that's 4 90 degrees. Looks like he used some 45s as bracing on this side and that. Actually, yeah, I think on both sides. So 4 45s. And then just 1, 2, 3 T connectors, possibly 3 T's. So not many connectors at all. He used bungees to tighten the shade cloth around that. Makes it easy to remove as well. And Danny, really cool build. I'm glad it worked out for you. Thanks for sending that in. I'm glad your wife's happy. I hope she is. Here's one by Steve. He did another garden shade, and this one's unique. He did a horseshoe or half moon shaped bed. The story is, and we talked to Steve, he had a above ground swimming pool bed that he removed, and he needed something to do with it. So he created this whole patio with a neat shape there, and then attached conduit both on the inside of the bed. You can see his mounting points down here with 2 hole straps, and then he attached it to the outside railing as well, and created these U-bends all the way across, and then linked them together, and then basically stretched shade cloth on the top of it. And he mentioned that he zip tied one side and then ball bungeed the other. So when he needed plants to get the sun, he wanted the full sun, he just undid the bungees, took it over, and then the shade was gone. Great job, Steve. Thanks for posting it. It was nice talking with you as well. Here's one by Barry. He's got a backyard deck that he wanted some shade on and cover. Looks great at nighttime with all those lights. Here's a picture from the inside looking out. And Barry did a great job. He did a pretty simple frame, but I want you to notice that he had to reinforce it in the middle here. Pretty big deck. And he ran 2 spans on either side, and then had to run that vertical post, which if you get a span too long, say over 10 feet, depending on your situation, you're definitely going to want to put a post down in the middle. And he's got that nice near the table, so it's not too distracting, but looks great. That's a great example of how Barry did it. He did some 45-degree braces to give it a little bit more rigidity from sway, attached it to the house, and then also ran a horizontal pipe on the outside railing of the deck that he used 2 hole straps there to attach to. And that's a good mounting method, I think, both on the house and the deck side, because you can do that, and then you can attach with T connectors or whatever connectors you want, and you can just add to the 2 hole straps, make that super secure. That was a great build, Barry. Love seeing your canopy for that back deck. Looks like a great place to relax. And here's one by Kenji. Take a look at this backyard paradise, another great one. He's got a lot going on here, but he made 2 maker pipe structures that sat on top of his pergolas that he already had. You can see one here on top of that pergola, and this is the second one. He even has some sailcloth, a sail shade right there. But what Kenji did, which I really like, is he elevated the frame above the pergola. And you can see it actually has a real airy kind of feel to it. And you can see another few great pictures. This is a great one on one of the canopies. He used fishing rod holders, believe it or not, to attach it to those existing beams, and then go up, attach it with a T, and you can see some ball bungees and the shade cloth to whatever size he needed. And he had some custom sizes that he wanted to do there for his back deck. Looks good. Here's a picture of the other side. Did pretty much the same thing. Even hung some nice lights on the inside there. You can see right along here. Hung some lights. Looks good, Kenji. Looks like you've got a backyard paradise. Great build. Love seeing it. If you like that build by Kenji and all of these that you've seen today, please consider subscribing. We do this every week, and we show off creative ways to use ordinary materials. Also, if you want some more details on how to build your canopy, check out this video here. We'll see you next week. Take care.